Oh, I say, it's John's Flip Side. Hello and welcome back to John's Flip Side. Hot off the press, off Facebook Marketplace. My son picked this up from Manchester. This is a DDA351 angled LXT angle drill. So I got this for 20 quid. It was a really good description in the sellers thing on Facebook Marketplace, and it sort of he kind of went into it a little bit. Didn't know what it's not working. That's what the crack is. It's not working. He wasn't sure what it was. He made a sort of a guess at it. So I don't know. These go for a bloody fortune. I tell you, if you can find a second-hand one of them under bloody 70 quid, you'd be doing all right. Honestly, you'd be doing all right. You know, for whatever reason, they're quite a high price item. So with 20 quid in, can I fix this and sell it for a profit? I don't know. Let's get the box open. Things of note, just with the box, it might have more of a chance of selling. Sounds a bit daft. It's just sat in there. It's got the old poster with all the LXT tools. Well, first impressions, it's not in bad nick. What year is it? 2021. I'll chuck a battery on it and see what it does. The light comes on and nothing at all. So I think it's going to have to be a strip down and see what's wrong with it. Right, let's get this open. I can already see what's wrong with it. You'll see a bit clearer when I get this out. This is interesting though. The head has got this spacer bit on it. And if you take this bit off here, like so, it's got like a weird plastic washer. Anyway, let's get the clamshell open. It's a bit mucky, not too bad, but you can see it's got a bit hot. We'll take this bit out and then have a look at it. Oh dear, I think that's had it. Yeah, I've not seen one do that before. Yeah, the brushes are, well, one of the brushes is totally worn down and one of them's not. That is a bit odd, but it hasn't got all melted and hot there, so chances are this bit of it is going to be okay, but I might need a new bit of this unless I can find another bit that's the same. Don't know yet. Look at that. There's no way I can fix that. So I've got a little bit of a quandary now. I've looked online and these, I think the cheapest is 34 quid. So I've got 20 out with the tool, so 34, 44, 54 quid. That's just sort of like break even. Now I've seen some online going for like 80, 90 quid, maybe some of them 100 second-hand ones. This is quite a new model, so yeah, I think I could still get 75 quid for it. But in the meantime, while Woman and I are trying to get a deal on one of these, I'm going to try it and glue that back together. But why not? It seems to have got a really hard bit of plastic behind there, so a bit of super glue in there and clamp it together and then clean everything up. I might bang this back in the angle drill and see if it works. So that's the next plan for this. Just to check, probably just to check that everything works. It could be a switch as well, I don't know. Well, it's all back together. Doesn't it look nice? It's in good nick, apart from the end of the chuck's a bit worn. But I've chucked a battery on it. Now then, do you reckon it's going to run? my super glue tinkering. Anyway, let's see. Sounds a bit rough. Sounds like something catching. I might have to take it apart again and investigate. But no, say that positives. I've got it working, so that proves really that the switching and everything, all the circuit boards, if there is any simple circuit boards in here, are all right. So we just need to get rid of that nagging noise. Just check out what that is, and then I'll give it some really hardcore testing. I think we'll give it a really good test, and yeah, well, and then we'll make a decision then about whether we're going to put a new rotor in. Don't know at the moment. I'm a bit chuffed I've got it going. Anyway, let's get it to pieces again and see if we can figure out where that noise came from. Might just need running in. I might have to drill some holes first. Found out what the noise was. This bit sounds sweet as a nut. The body, so that bit's, all that's okay at the moment. But look. Now then, has there been some foul play? I don't know. Anyway, on what sort of one side of this cog, it's had 1, 2, 3 teeth knocked off it. Let me just see if I can, hang on a minute. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know how that's happened. I don't think I did it. I don't think it happened when I just did that little bit of running before, the running of the drill. So when I got this thing running a minute ago and it sounded rough, I don't think these little cogs snapped off then, looking at the state of them. Yeah, there was a little bit of a cog inside that bit there, sort of like trapped in the grease. But yeah, don't know how that's happened. I don't know. It's a mystery. Anyway, it's all sounds like shit, and it's all out of whack somehow. What I'm going to try and do is pack a bit of grease in it for now and see if I can quieten it up. Now, you could say to me, right, hang on a minute, John. Is that not like putting sawdust in an engine, you know what I mean, to try and hide the knocks and the rattles? Yeah, kind of. But I'm not gonna be right with people. I'm not gonna botch it together and then I'm gonna sell it. It doesn't work like that. It's got to be right. But I just wanted to see, just to reassure me that this is. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look at the pricing of these cogs. See if I can buy them separately. And then I'll have to buy a very small bearing puller. Right, it's back apart again for the umpteenth time. I just wanted to check the rotor, where the brushes met the rotor. Like I said, I think it's quite an even sort of, you can see where the brushes have been sort of bedding in. I did have some sort of second-hand brushes on this thing. I've got some new ones on order. But I'm quite happy about the, you know, it seems to be running quite true. And remember, this has been super glued back together and then sort of like sanded down a bit. So there's a couple of little ridges on it, but yeah, I'm quite, I know we haven't done the proper testing yet. And this is just like a baseline to sort of, so I'm going to get this all back together when the new bits come. And then we're going to give it a proper test and then, yeah, then take it to bits again and see what it looks like. Well, the new cog bits arrived. It's got all its teeth on, unlike this one. So we're going to get all this back together. I've got some new brushes as well. So we'll get it all back together and give it a test. There we go, new cog on. The little circlip sort of thing that came off the original one, it was just like made out of wire. I tried to put it on, it went bing! Went all the side of the studio, and I don't know whether I could spend a day looking for it. So I've got a circlip box there, and I managed to get one on. I managed to get a new circlip on. Well, it's back together. Doesn't it look smart? Look, I've even sorted the chuck out, got all that gunge off the chuck, or mostly. So yeah, it's in good nick, isn't it? Good nick. It doesn't make that awful sound anymore. As you can see, I've got a 10mm wood bit in there, so we're going to do a little bit of drilling with Gordon. I can't remember his name. What's his name? Anyway, the world's worst vice. I need some vice advice. So I want a better version of this. Probably this size is okay, but I needed to clamp onto the side of my bench and then just so I can take it off right quick. But I do like having it in the middle of the bench, but not having to screw it down. So maybe there's one with a big base. Don't know. Anyway, let me know in the comments, please. Anyway, let's do some drilling and see if it sounds like a bag of bolts or sounds like it should do. Might be an idea if I put it on the going the right way. Anyway, try again. Now, what's going the right way? See? See? See what happened? There we go. It's all getting clogged up. Wasn't throwing all the chips out, was it? Try again. It's hard work, this, actually, one-handed, when you got to... Yeah, this really should have two hands on it, but I've got to hold the bloody vice. So... There we go. Right, I'm going to give it some welly this time. Try and get a bit without any holes in. Did put a bit too much on it and it cut out for its own safety. But yeah, bloody hell, I'm going to have another go. Bloody hell. If that's not running right, I don't know what is. I'm going to get a bigger bit. I'm going to try a bigger bit. Well, there's no point messing about. I've screwed the vice to the bench, well, with one screw. I've got a 20mm auger bits or something like that. I think these are Errrrr ones. It's not new, it's had a little bit of use. So yeah, this is what this machine is designed for, really. But there's a caveat to that. What I mean is, it's this tool is designed to go in between beams, so the electrician or the plumber can drill holes for the cables or the pipes. But if you're doing a lot of these holes, you need the bigger version of this. I'll put a picture up of the bigger version of this. This is just like a couple of times a day or so. And it'll probably do a lot more than that, actually, but I can imagine this bit here would get quite hot if you're putting especially this bit in. Don't know if it should go through it okay, but we're going to give it a go. Yeah, as you can see, it got halfway through, and then with it's pulling itself in, it went off on the sort of safety protection system. So yeah, once it stops, it's hard to get it going again. We'll give it another go. No, I thought it was getting a little bit hot, but it's just where the brushes have been touching. The brushes aren't bedded in. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the machine. I think I needed a sharper bit, and maybe, you know, over time the sensitivity of the chip that controls the amount of torque and the amount of power. So if it feels like it's going to damage the tool, it turns itself off, and that could be a bit annoying. Might have to do some more testing. I'll get a new bit. But yeah, so far, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Right then, I've got my angle drill here. This is the one that I've done up, but exactly the same model. The only difference is the sticker's a bit different. That's all, really. It's exactly the same model. This is 2016 and this one is 2021. So I've put the same bit in there, and we're going to see if it's the same or it gets bogged down. It's like spaghetti, this bit of wood. So anyway, here we go. Right, it's doing exactly the same. It cuts out to protect itself, and if this was sharper, I don't think it would have done it. But it was a good test using the same bit though with both drills. And what I mean by that is, if this had roared through, I'd know there was something extra wrong with this. But they seem about the same, which is good news. Right, I've made a decision. The decision has been made. It's all fixed, but I'm a little bit unsure about the rotor, the end of the rotor. So I was going to put it on eBay with maybe a starting bid of, I don't know, still worth 40 quid, I reckon. A starting bid of 40, I reckon. It would worry me about the rotor. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to sell it to the boss. So this is going to be for our plumbing firm. It's going to stay for everyone to use and whatnot. So I think I'm going to go with 70 quid. What do you reckon? 70 quid. He'll go for that, definitely. So I'm 35 quid out. So with all the buying of the item and the cog there and the bushes and whatnot, and a lot of time messing about with it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to make 35 quid. So there you go. There you go. So I'll see you next time on John's Flip Side. Oh, I say, it's John's Flip Side.